we've had multiple people come forward and say, hey, I landed my first deal already, and it's only week 2. Like, it's so cool to see the results of this and to see people getting each other excited, get each other, hold each other accountable, team up together, again, we've been doing free giveaways, we've been doing discounts. So there's a lot of reasons to do this live. But if you're watching this after the fact, you still have that playbook to go out there and go land that first deal and go, drive for deals, drive for dollars, and make this happen. So wanted to just lay that out for everybody. If you're joining us for the first time, that's 100%. Hey, we're totally okay. We're giving you the playbook. But if you're following us along through this whole thing, it's been a blast. We really enjoyed the journey. So, Zach, now that you're up and running, how was Thanksgiving? How was the holidays?
It was good, man. Dealing with some rental issues, but pretty much everything's as good as it should be. Business running smooth, following up leads all day, so team's doing well.
Love it, dude. Yeah, I was telling people, I had my oldest turn 6 on Friday. We had, the holidays with, had family in town and did all that, and just been all over the place. So it's been an eventful last couple of days, but excited to wrap this up with you and with everybody on here. So
I'm excited. Final week, so we're gonna just start it strong, because a lot of people think once the challenge is over, that's their marketing can stop, and this is really just the beginning for most people.
Yeah, man. The intention of this is to change your habits for the future. Like you've gone through 30 days, we're on day 23. So next Monday will be day 30. So this is your last full week doing this, but you've gone through, after all this, 30 days of changing habits and of doing the right things and of putting the right things in place. And maybe you've landed a deal. Like I said, we've had people come forward already and talk about the deals they've done from this challenge, which is awesome. But even if you haven't, like, you are setting yourself up for success for the end of the year, which is a slower period for a lot of people, which is a great time to ramp up yourself and stand out. And then for the early next year, like, get into next year and make 2023 a killer year for you. So love to see that. Love to see all the different people who've been, I mean, I can't even post everything on here, but I've got, 15, 20 screenshots right here, and have had so many people jump in the Facebook group and throw in their accountability posts and show off what they're doing. So really, really cool to see how this is, changed people. Again, right now is such an exciting time to be doing this, because we have such a massive opportunity to change things and to use this as an opportunity to build wealth. Like, this only comes around a couple times in your professional life. Right now, we have in many places, a slowdown. It can be anywhere from just a plateau to a straight up recession in different markets. Like, whatever the effect is of your individual local market, now is the time where investors are more valuable. Like, you're able to come in, and if you're wholesaling, if you're buying and holding, regardless of what you're doing, you're going in and you're looking for people that need help. You're looking for people that have financial pain, and you can solve that using speed and using convenience and using cash and using these other tools that we offer as investors to be able to solve that problem for them. And then from there, they're trading that speed and convenience, that solution, for equity and for a discount, for an opportunity for you to come in and do a killer deal. So again, we only have a couple opportunities like this in our professional lives, and now is the time to step up and get proactive, especially as the weather's getting colder in a lot of places, especially as the market might be getting colder in other places, in terms of just in general the cyclical nature of seasonality behind it. Now is the time you can stand out, because financial situations like that don't go away. Like, now is the time that you can go in and make things happen and do it in a way that other people aren't doing right now. So most investors get stuck because they just don't know how to go do that, how to go find a great deal, and how to go out there and get in touch with people who actually have that issue. So what we've been going through, and I know today is day 23, what we've been going through in these 30 days is that challenge of giving you, hey, here's the exact playbook of what we see people doing over and over and over again. People like, I know we had, again, multiple people in the challenge raise their hand and say, hey, I've landed deals already. You'll be seeing some of those people on our YouTube channel talking about it. Like, keep an eye on our YouTube channel as well, for people breaking down how they went through the challenge and how they landed that first deal. But outside of that too, I mean, we have people like Ryan Haywood, who he jumped in. I've used this example a couple of times. Like, he jumped into a 30-day challenge back in January 2020. He had no real estate experience before this. He was a guy in the Kansas City, Missouri area. I believe St. Joe's a little north of there. Him and his wife started going out and driving for deals. And literally 17 days into that challenge, he landed his first deal. He went all in. He committed to the homework. He committed to the accountability. And since then, he's done 72 deals in that first year, 72 wholesale deals, and over 400 deals total using Deal Machine as his tool. But the main overall thing, the thing that he changed is his actions. Like in the end, again, we're a technology to make you more efficient, more effective, but you still got to take that action. So this is what we're laying out for you with this challenge, with the trainings, with what we've been going through. Every Monday, we've been doing these live trainings where we help you overcome these challenges, give you this playbook, and give you homework for the next week so you know exactly what to be doing next. Today, we're going to do that too. Like today, we're going to go in and we're going to answer questions. We're going to give you a little bit of training. We're going to recap the playbook for you through the first 23 days we've given away. And then we'll give you homework for that final week to bring you home. As well as, like I said, we're going to have a Cyber Monday bonus too for you guys for being on here and saying, hey, here's for today only. If you want to really take action, here's how you can do that and get way more bang for your buck too. So, midweek, we've been sharing out pro tips like shortcuts, checking in on your progress. So we've been sending that over email. On Fridays, we've been doing giveaways. So we're going to do one of those today too. Really excited. One of our biggest giveaways so far in this entire challenge. And again, stick around today for that giveaway and for the Cyber Monday bonus. So Zach, do you have any other things to add before we jump into the homework check-in and see how people are doing? Or
no, do some Q&A after too, obviously. So if you guys have any questions, just put them in the Q&A chat in there. Love to answer them. And really, got any questions, you have any situation with sellers, anything like that, please let me know. I'm here to help.
Awesome. Love it, man. So with that in mind, before we get into the Q&A portion, let's start off with the homework. So the homework itself, we had asked you guys, hey, and this is there's reasoning behind all of this. It's what we've seen, the common thread we've seen between our most successful investors, what they're all doing consistently over time. That's how we've built out this homework for you all. And, end of week 3, you're on day 23 again right now. At this point, the goal is, hey, have you added 300 driving for dollars leads yet? Have you, each week, we've said, hey, add 100 leads to your list. And again, a lead, a qualified lead, a good lead is a property that is physically distressed. And, the reason being, one, if they're physically distressed, that means that's the number one indicator of being a motivated seller. It's the number one indicator that, hey, this person is, at some point looking to sell that property, or maybe actually motivated to sell that property and trade equity, trade a discount to do that. The physical distress just means, like I've talked about, a tarp on the roof, windows boarded up, gutters falling off, siding problems, weeds growing through the concrete, more subtle things like window AC units, things like that to show you, hey, it's just outdated. Other things like, okay, if you're doing this and it's early next year, if they still have like Halloween decorations up, we've had people land deals like that. I use that example, things like that for whatever reason, it just isn't, the property isn't keeping up with, or the property owner is not keeping up with the physical appearance of that property. So we've said to this point, 100 leads per week. So 300 leads total to your driving for dollars list, reaching out to those leads in at least 2 different ways, which week 2, we did a really good breakdown of that. I'll do a quick recap today of how to do that. But week 2 was a big breakdown of how to market to those leads in different ways. Our most successful investors, they're doing it in a mix of ways. So they're reaching out through a call or through a text or an email or a door knock or a sticky note on the door, a door hanger, a postcard. They're doing a mix of things. So that way you give yourself more opportunities to get in front of them. And then also people are going to respond differently to different outreach. Like some people are going to respond to a text, but they wouldn't respond to a postcard, and vice versa. So you've got all that going on. And then our third step was following up by taking notes and using tasks. And that's what we talked about last week. That's on the Wholesaling Houses for Real YouTube channel. Is we've come on and we said, hey, you got to be organized. You got to take notes so you can really build a relationship with somebody and refer back to those notes to know personal info, to know what the situation they're dealing with, to just stay organized with your conversations. And then use tasks for yourself. So like a CRM, if you're familiar with that, where you use tasks for yourself and know that if you jump in every day, you can see what your tasks are for that day, know what you need to do, what do you need to follow up with them, know that you need to take action on every single conversation you're having. So that way there's always a very clear next step and no leads ever fall through the cracks. So there's easy ways to do all that inside a Deal Machine. We do that in the training as well. I'll show that off briefly in the recap. But today I really want to bribe you guys and say, hey, if you've done this, if you can show me that you've added 300 leads, again, it's hard to prove that you've reached out to them, in 2 different ways. Maybe show me that you've done some skip traces, right? It's hard to prove that you've taken notes and tasks on all of them. Maybe show me a little evidence of that too. But if you can just take that screenshot of your 300 leads on your list, email that to me, just matt@dealmachine.com, and we'll hook you up with $10 free, $10 of free marketing credits to be able to skip trace to those people, to be able to send mail to those people. That covers, that's going to be not almost 1,000, or no, that's going to 100 or so free skip traces and like 20 free postcards, something like that. So you'll get a bunch of free stuff from us to be able to go in and just follow up with people. So I want to make sure you guys have a bit of a bonus here going into the final week. And people who are following us along, people who are doing the homework, we want to reward you for taking action. So
awesome.
All right. Cool. Zach, any other tips or things to add before I jump into that kind of the quick recap of the last, those 3 steps we've been giving away over the last 3 weeks?
You just got to keep consistent with everything. And that's really it. This is when most people stop being consistent with it. So you have to add your consistency with it. And it's all comes from making that plan and sticking to it. So if you're keeping that plan, hey, I'm doing 200 this week, 300 this week, keep it up. Don't make excuses. I was looking at a picture from Clive in the group. He was on a scooter scooting for dollars, and he found this super ugly house with the roof caving in on it. No excuses. You just got to do it.
There we go, man. Yeah. No excuses, nothing to keep you from doing it. I saw somebody, who was it? Emery from Budapest. Amazing. We have people from all over the world doing this using virtual driving for dollars, which is part of the recap I'll show off. So, there's no excuse there either. So, jump in that way. Roman Hernandez, and this is in San Diego, said, is that a good market to start wholesaling? Absolutely. It's more competitive. Like I mentioned, it's going to take more leads than probably the 400 that we're going to be assigning to you throughout this 30 days and throughout the homework this week. But that being said, if it takes a little more time, takes a little more marketing dollars, the actual assignment fees, the spread you're going to make on those deals are way bigger too. So you're going to be able to do a higher, it'd be higher cost to get to that deal, but more dollars per deal in a market like San Diego. So we see people doing deals there too. Awesome. Let's see, jumping in on the challenge. Indiana, fantastic market to start in. Let's see, awesome, signing up for Cyber Monday deal. Cool. I'll share the link today to be able to get the full bonus on that. 206 KW says 266 leads. You're so close. Keep it up. You're 34 leads away from that homework assignment from where you should be today. And then Van, you said we're going to get the recording of week 3. That's on the Wholesaling Houses for Real YouTube channel, is the week 3 version of this training. So all right, looks like we're good on the Q&A. Do you see any other urgent questions, Zach, that before I jump into this? Or
not much on here. So I think we're ready to go to the next part.
Perfect, man. So again, what I'm going to show off today, we've gone over this in the first 3 weeks in depth, but I want to give you that playbook, the recap, so that way everybody on here knows exactly what to be doing and how to go land that first deal or that next deal by driving for deals, by driving for dollars here. Everything that we do is the playbook. Again, I'm going to show Deal Machine as a tool to make it way more effective and efficient to execute on. But that being said, you can still go out there. You can do this with a spreadsheet. You can do this with a pen and paper. You can do this. that's how, like, David Lecko, our founder, he talked about his story in the first week on the kickoff, where he was doing this himself and he was just writing down addresses and writing handwritten letters and sending them that way. Like, you can do that too. It takes much more time and hustle to do that. But hey, we don't have to go through and use our technology. Like we want to give you great value here, give you the playbook no matter what. And if you want to try us out, awesome. We'll hook you guys up with free stuff too. So hopefully that's fair going into this. But the 3-step recap here. Step 1 in the playbook, when we talked about week 1, was building your list. So it's building your list of motivated sellers. And again, you want to go do that by looking for physically distressed properties. How you can do this really simple and easy inside a deal machine. So Zach, can you see the app now? Hopefully.
Yep.
I'll switch over. Cool. Awesome. So inside the app here, if you zoom in, it is just, South City, St. Louis. It locks on your location like this, and it'll tell you, you'll see a blue dot on the map right there. This is the desktop version. So you've got the mobile version as well, which is what we're more known for, to be honest, is the mobile version. But they sync up instantly. And, what you can see right away is it locks on your location, and you see all these black dots popping up around you. Those are all properties that you can just, you see them in real life. You can click on them in the app, and you can look up more information. You can see this one's corporate owned. You can drive down the street, see like, hey, this one's owner occupied and it's got an assumable mortgage. You can say, hey, this one, same situation. You can see, hey, you've got quite a few over here, owner occupied as well. So as you drive down the street, you'll be able to see more and more info about that particular or about that house that you see in the real world. You just tap on it and it'll bring up info about that owner. Now, if I see that's, absentee owned right here, I can click into it. You can see more info, a lot usually about the sale price and equity percentage of the loan, all of that. Let me see if I can find a property that's got a little more data. Here we go. So this one, equity or sale prices right here. We've got assessed value. It'll come in and say last sale date. So you can just see more information about that particular property on the go in the app. To just figure out a little bit more information on, hey, is this a property that is worth my time reaching out to that owner? So as you're driving around, this is step 1, is looking for physically distressed properties like this. If you're following along with the homework, we put 400 again as the 100 leads a week for the first 4 weeks as kind of that magic number, because we see on average, just taking all of the markets and combining them into one, which again, it's going to be very different market to market, but on average, we're seeing about that to get to your first deal. It takes a couple hundred leads there to get to that first deal on average. That being said, again, in this challenge, we've had multiple people, if that's the average, we've had multiple people come forward and add way less leads than that, put in the hustle to reach out to them and do a deal. We've had people on our YouTube channel, one guy, the 4th person he called, he did a deal, and it was live on a video we did. So it happens like that. You can get lucky with the timing like that, but just know going into it that you need to be consistent. As Zach said, you need to be able to just add leads at scale like this. And to do that inside the app, it's just simply tapping on them, looking at more info, and then hitting add lead right there. And as you do that, you'll see a blue pin pop up. That blue pin means it's added to your list. You'll see also blue dots pop up, and that means that it's had that property has had an MLS status within the last 12 months. So, that's good to know, like, hey, if it's been on market recently, or, if it's had that MLS activity, then, hey, maybe it's not a great lead, or maybe you can take a different strategy with it. But, in the end, you're looking for leads that, again, it's the number one indicator of a motivated seller. It's the highest chance of it being a motivated seller, because it's a fixer-upper, it's physically distressed. And then on top of that, you're looking for leads that, again, these leads may or may not appear on a list that people are pulling or buying, because you're not going to pull a list that's got physically distressed data on it. Like, you're coming in and you're being able to say, hey, yeah, let me go and look for properties that are physically distressed, because I know they're motivated, and by the way, they're going to be way less competitive because they aren't easy to pop up on a list like that. They have a way higher likelihood of not being bombarded by all these other people that are investors, because they didn't just appear in some absentee owned high equity list. So I'd say that's the goal. Is real simple and easy. You're doing it on, this is the desktop version, but on the mobile app, it looks just like this too, where you're just driving around and you're adding leads that way, and you're building your list. The other way for the person in Budapest, and for anybody else who's international, which we have plenty of international people using it as well, this top right corner, this start driving button, you tap on that, you can put the driver anywhere, hit start driving. Let me expand this, and boom, you've got, your virtual driving for dollars right here, where you can drive around and you can do the same exact process of, clicking down the street and looking for properties that, are physically distressed again. And, similar thing, you can see more data about the owner. You can add a lead just like that and, be able to build your list that way too. You'll want to check in the bottom left corner when that photo was taken. So on here, you can see this was January 2022. So, it's pretty updated, it's pretty, it's pretty accurate still. Most markets, you're going to see these pictures were taken in the last year or two. So highly likely that particular property is, in similar shape to what you're seeing, on the picture. So look at that. You can even compare that to the sale date too. So if I know the last sale date on here is, July of 2022, and that this picture was taken, in January 2022, then, hey, yeah, it's changed hands since they took that picture. So, you use that sale date to your advantage as well. But yeah, that's kind of step one, is physically driving for dollars, virtually driving for dollars. We go into pro tips on that week one training, like the route tracking, where that's with our route tools upgrade. You see a green line pop up behind you, and you can look at the map and see where you've driven in the last 6 months. It turns yellow after 6 months and red after a year. So you can see, hey, what are areas that I should drive that I haven't been, or that I haven't been for a while, and can redrive those or pick out, just helps you kind of plan ahead in terms of driving and make sure you don't double back on routes. And then it also, our route tools upgrade also unlocks the highlights feature right here, where you click a highlight button, you can say, hey, yeah, show me all the vacant properties in this area that are single family. And boom, when you click on that, you've got highlights start to pop up around you. So that way you can see visually on the map, some filters to help you determine, is this a good lead or not? When you're driving around, if it's highlighted, then, hey, maybe it's a high priority lead. So there's a couple of quick pro tips there. That was, mostly kind of week one, what we were looking at. Week two here. So Zach, did you have any other tips on week one before I can keep rolling if you want?
No, I mean, I think the biggest tip I give to people to stay motivated with it, if it takes 500 driving for dollars leads to make, let's say, a $10,000 deal, that's $20 per lead. And if you can pull 10 or 15 leads in like an hour, that starts adding up, right? And if you knew you'd make 20, 25 bucks every time you found an ugly house, you'd probably be out driving for dollars 8 hours a day, right? So you just got to look at it like that. And once you start changing your perspective on it, it gets a lot easier. Like, you figure out how many hours it really takes to make 10 grand, you'd be out there all day driving for dollars. And really, it's the honest truth. Like, you've seen all these people. Statistically, if you pull 500 driving for dollars leads in a decent area where cash buyers want to buy, and you call them, you're going to get a deal. And it's just a numbers game.
Yeah. Love that. I mean, that's a great way to think about it, is do the math on, hours spent versus.
I used to do that with cold calling. That's why I cold call 5 hours a day. I was making so much money in college doing that. You couldn't stop me from calling. It motivated me so much.
There we go, man. Yeah. That's a great way to goal set. So, love it. So that's kind of step one here. Jumping into step two, again, I'll do a quick recap for you guys, but the playbook is marketing to your list. And, once you have that list, you got to reach out to them, right? You can't just build the list and let them go. You got to actually, get in touch with these people. A two-pronged approach is the best way to think about this. Most successful investors, they're doing a marketing mix of things here. And the two-pronged approach means short-term marketing is the first prong, which what we categorize as short-term marketing is one-to-one marketing. So like reaching out through a door knock, through a call, through a text, even through, putting a sticky note on the door, which I'll cover here in just a minute. Doing things like that is going to really be that one-to-one outreach that takes your time to go reach out to that person individually. So I'd say, the two-pronged approach is, one is short-term marketing like that. The second prong is long-term marketing. It's reaching out over and over and over again to just stay top of mind. And that's something you can set it and forget and automate. And I'll show you guys how to do that here. So as we're jumping into Deal Machine, you've added leads by driving for dollars, by virtually driving for dollars. You've been using route tracking and highlights if you have our route tools upgrade. But all those leads go into this leads tab right here. And again, if you add it on mobile or desktop, either way, they pop up like this. They all accumulate in the leads tab. I'll click into that, and here are those two options. Here, let me look at one that's not corporate owned. Here we go. So here are those two options. You've got skip trace, and that's the short-term marketing. Again, it's You hit our database, it comes back with phone numbers, which this one didn't have great results with, which we have about a 90% success rate on the ping on the skip trace data. And then a 30 to 35% right call or right number rate. So if you're getting back like 3 or so numbers, then you're in a good spot. You're typically going to have the right one. Let me see here. I'll skip trace one more for you guys. Here's a better one. So 5 phone numbers, right? And 8 email addresses. So all of this will give you data to work with of phone numbers to call, or it's going to give you landline or mobile or do not call. You can see right here, or disconnected, a lot of do not call numbers here. You can see, hey, this is, the caller ID, the, landline versus mobile. So you'll have some data to work with to know, hey, which number is going to be the best to call right away. And, that again, that's the short-term marketing, is that text, that call, reaching out in that fashion. So I've got, all these different numbers right here. I would say, another thing I would categorize in that short-term marketing, and this is kind of a hack for people who have our route tools upgrade specifically, is if you have a list inside Deal Machine. So say, for example, you use any other technology that builds lists, or say you have any kind of outside list whatsoever, you can just go to add leads, import that list. And then here's one example. And when that pops up, you'll see, hey, here's all my leads on that list. There's a drive this list button that's unlocked with our route tools. When you hit drive this list, this is how you could do reverse driving for dollars. Like, this is how Zach talks about, hey, driving around and leaving sticky notes on doors and things. That is going to absolutely give you a way higher response rate than just like calls or anything like that. So going in there, you can use this drive this list feature, and you can see I've got 183 leads. It's a big list for driving it. You got 13 hours worth of driving right there. So, maybe target one that's a little bit smaller. But going in here, you can come in and say, yeah, like these 52 leads, it's going to take me 2 hours and 15 minutes to get to all those properties. And it'll import GPS right into the app and say, hey, go here, then drive here, then here, then here, then here. And it'll give you you kind of drive along with it. And it'll give you the exact guidance to be able to drive that list. So I would categorize all of that, all of those efforts, as the one-to-one short-term marketing. And you can, again, you're getting premium data, one-off or in bulk when you skip trace people. You could come in and skip trace them like by clicking on this little button and doing it in bulk like that. You can go in and there's, make it just easier for you to reach out to people. But, in general, it's okay, do that short-term marketing and then combine that with the long-term marketing, the automated set it and forget it marketing, where if I go in here and I click on view lead, the other option is start mail. And, we highly recommend taking a picture, which this picture button pops up when you add a lead on the mobile app. We highly recommend taking a picture of the property, just because that picture is going to go onto the postcard when you send it. And that's going to double your response rate too. But if you hit start mail right there, you just click that button and, hey, in an hour, it's going to send this postcard to them, where I know right away. And again, if I took a picture, that picture would be right here. But I know right away, like, hey, this is going to, it's very simple, very easy, very straightforward in terms of messaging. That's going to send to them. It's going to send every 21 days, 6 times in a row. So it's going to send out, December, January, and you can really go through and make sure that you optimize your marketing and make sure that you are just doing that and setting it and forgetting it. And that way you're putting yourself in position to be right place, right time for this. So, try to keep it simple, straightforward, where if you click on a lead, you've got both of those options right at your fingertips. And we take a process that, normally would take, 30 plus minutes to send mail like that, or a very long time to look up info, and, reduce it down to a couple seconds for you. So, and any, Zach, any other words of wisdom here before kind of jumping into step 3?
No, I don't like complicating things. And you simplified it, and I think if I had anything, it'd be more complicated. So, I mean,
yeah,
it's a tool, helps you out.
Love it, man. The direct mail, this mail tab, you can do things like manage that mail. We've got like, different postcard sizes, handwritten letters. The mail center will give you like budget and calendar optimization and stuff. But just know that a simple, straightforward answer is, hey, go in, just hit that mail button, and you'll start sending a proven, tested postcard right to that person. That, like Ryan Haywood, for example, that I use, he uses the default postcards inside the app. We've got about 9 of them in there. He uses those, and he's done over 400 deals doing that. So they are proven, they are tested. Just send that and just set it and forget it. And, do that enough times and you're going to be getting those calls. So, Cool. And then step 3. So we'll cover this, then we'll jump into a little bit on teaching you guys what that kind of next step is beyond these 3 things. So how to kind of wrap up this, the challenge for you guys. Step 3, this is what we went over last week. It's standing out by being organized and following up. And this is something that's going to give you, it's the details like this that give you a huge step up on like 90% of people, is being able to really, show that you care, show that you want to build an authentic relationship with somebody. And then on top of that, be able to really follow up and do everything what you say you're going to do. Like, that takes some organization, that takes some process to do that. So what inside a deal machine, what you want to do here is this leads tab that we've been working in. You can import leads, you can export leads right here. So you can use it as a really easy way to kind of manage all of your leads right in one spot. But what we talk about and what we talked about last week is using 2 things. And both of those things, if you click on the view lead right here, you've added that lead, you sent mail, you skip trace and try to call them, all that, awesome. This activity tab right here, these are the 2 things you can do inside of there. You can hit add, and you can either add notes or you can add tasks. And these 2 simple things, like, this is what's going to keep you organized. This is what's going to keep you on top of people's minds and keep you in the right position to do this deal over any other investor. So what you could do is hit add note to begin with and make it real simple and easy and say, hey, yeah, left a voicemail today. Need to call back to me, on Monday. Cool. Awesome. Post that note, make it real simple and easy. You can do things like adding personal information, like adding information about the situation with that owner. You just want to make it really simple and easy, so that way anytime you talk to Joseph right here, that you can just jump into your lead and view all your past activity and know exactly where you are in the conversation with them. And then the task portion is, okay, if I need to call him back on Monday, cool. All right, I'm going to go and set a task for myself to do that on Monday. Boom, create that task. And now I know when I jump into Deal Machine, I'll see on my task manager, hey, on Monday, I've got to call them back right here. So I need to go through and actually be able to make it really simple and easy to manage these tasks and make it so that way I know every single morning I jump in here and where I am in each individual conversation and what do I need to do next. All that's lined up for me. I don't even need to think about it. It's ready to go. It's inside the app. I've got it nailed. So that's something in the nitty gritty, but it really is what separates you from other people, is simply following up, doing what you say you're going to do, never letting a lead fall off your radar, and always following through on that next step. Like that, these are the fundamentals of what's going to make you close deals that other people won't. So, that's kind of the recap here for the first 3 weeks. Before we get into the live for this next week, Zach, do you have any other final thoughts there?
Yeah. So is this the last live stream training we got?
We'll do a recap on next Monday if you're up for it. But and it'll be like hey, here's moving forward, here's what you should be thinking about.
I just want to make sure. All right.
Yeah. So heads up for everybody, this is the final live training, is the final bit of like new information you're going to see. But next Monday we'll get a final like, hey, let's do this. Let's let's not stop now. Let's make this a springboard into the next December and 2023. So
awesome.
Cool. So going into this, what we talked about, or what we mentioned we're going to talk about today, is making confident offers and overcoming objections. It's okay, how do you go and really get into a conversation where you are armed with data, you're armed with knowing the knowledge of how do I make a good confident offer, and then how do I deal with objections? And that's something that I know. Love to have Zach on today. Love to be able to tag team your guys' questions. So please come with feel free to throw specific questions in the chat. It looks like Keith has his hand raised, so I'll call on Keith after I do this quick little training. I'll call on you first. But love to see people getting excited and coming with specific things of what they're dealing with. So we want to leave some time here at the end for that Q&A too. I'll also do that giveaway information. So it's over $700 worth of value today we're giving away. So I'll give that away. And then I'll also give away our Cyber Monday bonus for anyone who is able to jump on that before midnight Pacific time tonight. So I'll give you guys all of that here and we'll do some Q&A. But just to kind of begin with a couple of the pro tips that we see the commonalities of what we see over and over again to help people kind of get over that hump and make confident offers and really, build great relationships with sellers. First and foremost is just keeping it simple and being an active, good listener. Like going into these conversations and asking the simple things around, why they're wanting to sell and the condition of the property and things like that, where you can just open up the floor to them and let them tell you the situation and let them, kind of spill to you. And that's really any sales job. Like the best people, they're asking great questions. They're letting them lead, they're leading the conversation, but they're letting them open up, and then they're actively listening and solving from that. So don't go into this and feel like you have to, we talk about, don't go into this and feel like you have to make deals, have to convince somebody who's not ready to sell. It's you're going in to try to find deals and try to find those motivated people and let them tell you the reasons for motivation, and be very upfront with them and set expectations of, yeah, you could get more if you went with a realtor. Like that's, if you are upfront about that, hey, like, they're going to tell you why they don't want to. They're going to tell you, they're going to disqualify themselves quickly, which is better for you because it'll save you time. Or they're going to tell you, hey, here's why I want to go with somebody else, and not list it, not go that route. So having a simple script and listening, just knowing that it's okay to say, I don't know. This is a really big one that I know David Lecco, our CEO and founder, he talked about when he was building his portfolio for the very first time, is like, he just felt like he needed to know everything. And there's so much information out there that you can be easily overwhelmed and be like, yeah, I need to watch these, 1,000 hours of things and then I'll feel ready. And, it's, I like to talk about like, hey, that's like watching 1,000 hours of Steph Curry shooting threes and then feeling like you can be Steph Curry on the court. Like you got to go out and actually, put in the work, put in the practice, put in the actions. And, knowing that it's okay to say, I don't know, and have something to fall back on and have other, fall back and try to meet other people at things like this virtually, or, connect with each other and be able to, go back on like, Zach's free resources as well. Like, having that kind of on-demand knowledge and that on-demand support at your fingertips, that's what's going to help you deal with those individual situations. You got to get in those situations. You got to get in those conversations to begin with, to even be able to go back and fall back on people like that. So it's something where, hey, doing the right actions over time is what correlates to success, not feeling like need to know every single answer to every single thing that you could possibly be tasked with in these conversations. So that's a big one. Finding your numbers, I'll go through that today, a demo of exactly how to do that, and especially in this market. And now is more important than ever to do that. Like being confident in your data. And again, this is finding your numbers and making an offer and following up. Those kind of go together. It's being confident in your offer because you have the data to help you negotiate a better deal on both sides, like on the side of the cash buyer as well as with the investor. And that's something that is just more important now than ever, because just with any kind of changing market, to get this right. If you've been doing this challenge and you've been building a list and marketing that list and staying organized, you're starting to get in the room, you're starting to get in those conversations. This is going to empower you with accurate numbers. Like this is going to help you encounter, when you have that scary conversation of, hey, what's this worth? Like I know a lot of people might be uncomfortable with talking price. This is going to help you feel much better and gives you confidence as a newbie to do that. So being able to come in and be armed with knowledge goes a really, really long way. So that's what I'm going to break down today, is really show you how to make confident offers. The key being that MLS comps tool, and coming in and being able to run, I can show you just for a minute here exactly how to do that. And then would love to go into any tips from Zach as well as take Q&A. So I know this comps tool, this is something, and let me switch over to this. This is something that comes with every single deal machine plan. So if you're, even our starters, like they get this, in both on the mobile app as well as the desktop version. Like what I'm showing off again today is the desktop version, but the mobile app looks just like this too. They sync up as well. But really simple and easy. If you go into any individual lead, whether it be you driving around and finding a property and wanting to click on that lead that way, or if you go in that list, again, that list tool like I was showing you, either way, this comps button is going to be popped up right here, right? So you have this comps option, or let me see on here, you've got comps right here, right? You click on that, and that's going to expand into this map right here. And let me fully open this up for you guys. So that's going to expand in this map right here. And you've got two things that I say, you know, are really going to help you. You've got this filter button and you've got this start drawing button. And, you know, you see my blue pin. So my, you know, blue property is marked right there. This filter button right here is where you want to start. And especially, you know, again, in this market, like with things changing quickly, you'll want to go in and make a few adjustments here. So you've got county records versus MLS. I always click on MLS just because it's, you know, that's updated by agents. Like that's going to be way faster than the government records. You can go in here and, you know, adjust the minimum date. So today's November 28th. So, hey, let's even look at since, you know, September 28th, the last 60 days right here, you know, let's click on that. Square footage, I'd say go up or down by typically it's like 15% or so. You know, if you've got, you know, we've got a couple hundred square feet right here. You know, so we're looking, you know, decently, you know, decent right there. Year built, I'd say plus or minus 15 years is a pretty safe bet, just from an architecture standpoint, from a developer standpoint. That's going to help you get properties that, you know, are somewhat similar in terms of the build like that. So I'll go in and adjust that. Bedroom, bathroom, yep, you want to keep that. And then range, we can even go in and say, hey, let's see 0.5 miles. And let me see if this is going to apply and give me enough. Oh shoot, sorry guys, hit the restore to default. Let me see if these settings are going to help come up with enough comps for us. So 1933, 1963, and then range 0.5 miles. All right. Oh man, I keep clicking I got a happy trigger button here. Hold on. Let me adjust this one last time for you guys. So September 28th. All right. 1933 to 1963 again. All right. Range 0.5 miles. Nice. There we go. So we've got quite a few options right here. So clicking into that, what I would say here is you can then also use the start drawing tool right here. So again, I use all these filters, right? I, you know, kind of make sure that we are in, you know, pretty recent, comp in terms of when it was sold, you know, considering the changing market. It's within, you know, half a mile right here. This is all live, you know, on the go. If you're on mobile, again, you can do this. It's built for mobile first, really. So you can do all this on the go too. If you're in a conversation with a seller on the spot. I've got plus or minus 15 years on the build. I've got a similar floor plan instead of bed and bath in terms of bed and bath. I've got, you know, the MLS comps and all that. Awesome. Let me hit start drawing. And I always try to stick within the, you know, without actually crossing lines of any major roads right here, if possible, if you've got enough comps. And hey, going into that, I've got a couple things to work with right here where I can look and see, and on the go, you can see, hey, here is the actual, you know, estimated value based on the dollars per square footage. I can select and deselect those properties so you can see that adjusting in real time, right? And adjust my average price. And then finally, I can go in and hit view, this view button right here. And if it has, it depends on your market on if it has the data, but it'll go in and here's an example. Here are MLS photos pulled right into the app. So I can then show, you know, I can use this as a negotiating point with a seller to say, hey, yeah, you know, here's what the condition of this property was. You know, this one was 274, right? But it looks, you know, like they, you know, looks great. Looks like they put a lot of work into it. So if you compare this and say, yeah, I've got, you know, I need to put 100K into your house to be able to, you know, get to this point, then, hey, that's how you negotiate, you know, on the spot with those. So use that data to your advantage, use this all right there on the go and make it really simple and easy to be able to say, yeah, here's how I can be confident to show you what your property is worth. And even, you know, with everything going on today and everything in the news, like taking off an extra 10 to 15% off the ARV, I think can be warranted in a lot of particular markets as well. So Zach, did you have any other thoughts on the MLS process right here or on the comps process right here or anything?
Not much on that. I mean, the comps are pretty simple, right? I mean, they just gotta pretty much match, right? Never gonna be perfect on them. I always tell everybody, don't spend more than 5-10 minutes comping because just you gotta lowball these sellers, and that's the way you really gotta do it. Kind of like what you said before with David, when it comes to not knowing everything, you don't need to know everything, right? But how you deliver your delivery of how you don't know is going to be more important than what you actually know. For example, if I have a question I don't know, hey, I don't know, but my partner does. is it okay when I come back and talk to them, I can actually ask them, then call you back and I get that answer, right? Most people got a question, you just hop on the live stream, talk to me, I'll answer whatever question you got. After doing 1,000+ wholesaling deals, I've probably seen it all, and I can help you with any question you got or somebody else, right? And when it comes to a structural issue with the property, right, there's handyman contractors you can do, right? So if I don't know something, I'm going to ask somebody that does know it, and it won't cost you anything. So keep consistent with it, make your deliveries good, and you'll do well.
Love that partner card. Yeah, playing that is a fallback. If I need to talk to my partner, that is a great way to show that, hey, you're still competent, but you want to ask for a second opinion. So
yeah, I mean, I get questioned all the time, like, how do I do this on a deal machine? I'm like, I don't know, but I know somebody that does. And then I'll go message you, right? So that's how it works.
Love it, man. Awesome. So, wrapping that up, we can take Q&A here. I want to give your final homework assignment before we jump into that and the Cyber Monday stuff and the giveaway real quick. Final homework assignment for this, again, it's add 100 leads this week. So you probably caught on to that is, hey, we're trying to get to that 400 lead number, that magic number of where your first deal comes in on average, so that we've gotten to 400 leads right here. You need to reach out to them at least 2 different ways. So we covered a bunch of different ways to do that. But, it could be a call and a text. It could be a call and a sticky note. It could be a call and a piece of mail. It could be a, whatever combo you want to do. 2 different ways. And then follow up by taking notes and using tasks, like stay organized, all of that. That's part of this to really build the right habits, to really set you up for that success over and over and over again, not just a one-off lucky deal, but to do this many times over. And then finally, making offers. And like Zach said, you've got to go in there and don't, I showed you how to comp in 5 minutes, like do that. And, if you can hit that number of at least 5 offers, you're off on a great foot. Like you're off, you're off and running. Hey, like, let's keep track of that number. And in the end, like it's a funnel that you're thinking through. So you've got the top of the funnel is how many leads have you added? How many have you reached out to? How many have you been in touch with and had a conversation with? How many have you made an offer on, / appointments, and then how many deals have you closed? Think about that entire funnel. If the bottom of the funnel is a, handful of offers there, hey, you're off on the, you're building that funnel up to go land deals. So that is the homework this week, is to go out and actually make offers like this. The final giveaway is anyone who does this, anyone who adds 400 leads to qualify. And if you make that accountability post to prove it, so if you make that post inside of the Wholesaling Houses for Real Facebook group, you are entered this week to get a free year deal machine. And that is a $708 value normally. You'll get that full 12 months for free to be able to get this and just go out. And if you've purchased deal machine already, if you take advantage of our Cyber Monday deal, all right, cool. We'll just refund you. We'll give you that free year deal machine. And no matter what, that way you're committing to yourself and you're saying, yeah, I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to get out there. I'm ready to make this happen. So the final giveaway this week is to go out there. You, again, add 400 leads. We'll post this in the Facebook group as a reminder, but add 400 leads and make your accountability post to prove it. And we're giving away a free account to somebody for an entire year. So go make that happen. Last thing before I get into the Q&A, we have 2 options to try us out. You've got dmzach.com, 7-day free trial. You get a bunch of free marketing credits, a bunch of free postcards, a bunch of free skip traces. Just try us out for free that way. That's one option. And again, we're technology to make all this process easier. But we're giving you the playbook no matter what, if you're using us or not. So, hopefully you are ready to walk away with that from today. And then Cyber Monday bonus, if you go in and you actually are saying, yeah, I'm ready to if you're going to do this more than just a couple months, if you're going to go in and pay for this and say, yeah, I'm going to invest in myself, invest in technology that can make this way more effective and easier to go do deals and do many deals. If you're going to do that for 12 months, hey, go to dealmachine.com/Zach. I saw somebody who was talking about they were they were doing the Cyber Monday deal already. Typically you would get, throughout this, this challenge, we've said, hey, we're going to give you the starter for 12 months, and then route tools for 12 months, which that gives you the driving for dollars I showed off, the virtual D4D, all the MLS data, the comps tool I showed you, all the CRM stuff, task notes, all that. You can send skip traces and postcards. You get the highlights and route tracking and drive a list, all the bells and whistles that I showed off of how to go best drive for dollars and do this as effectively as possible. And then for Cyber Monday, we'll give you $100 free. So $100 in free marketing credits, and it's just for today. So the deadline for this is midnight Pacific time. So make sure to go out and do this, where you get $100 in free marketing credits on top of this, which is going to cover the skip traces, postcards, all that stuff that you'd be normally going out and adding on. This is going to give you free marketing credits for that. So it's almost $1,400 in free in total value for $590. So we're giving you like easily the best option you're going to be able to find compared to anything else out there, compared to going through our site, all that stuff. Like, this is, dealmachine.com/Zach to hook you guys up, because you've stayed with us for so long throughout this entire challenge. Like, and you have the playbook. We know you're going to be successful if you follow that playbook. Here's how you can do that for a full year using Deal Machine. So again, dealmachine.com/Zach to get all of this stuff included in there. So wanted to lay that out for people. Zach, I'm happy to take Q&A now. Sorry to keep going on here, but wanted to give you guys the full rundown on the training, the homework, the giveaway, and now the Cyber Monday stuff. Cool. So let's do it.
Yeah, let's answer some questions. Let's see what we got here.
All right. We have one person with their hand raised, Emery. I believe I can you hit allow to talk on there, Zach? Is that
where is that?
Well, let me see. Here we go. Nice. Emery, can you hear us? Hopefully.
I believe I can. Can you hear me?
There we go. Gotcha. And you're the one in Budapest too?
Hodgewadge, igen, yes.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing.
How are you? Yes.
Awesome. Yeah. What time is it there?
Oh, it's almost 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah. Good evening. I'm glad, great to have you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, a couple of questions. So I saw you had a phone, so I can call from Deal Machine.
So we make it really easy to copy and paste that number. So like, for example, like on here, I have one number. If this was connected, I could just hit copy number, and that copies into my phone, right? And then I can just go over and call. It's not a dialer or anything, but it just makes it real easy to do that. So
okay, so I'm calling from my phone then.
Yes. So you can.
Oh, okay.
We recommend people do like Google Voice. Zach, do you have any other tips on like phone number to use when you're calling people?
Google Voice is gonna be the best one. And if you're in Europe, it should work. You can always get a VPN or always call rail if you have to pay for it.
Do you know about how much it costs if I have to pay for it?
Call rail, I think it's $50. Actually, you might just want to use Vumber. Let me check it out really quick.
Okay.
I think Vumber's 13 a month.
Oh, okay. All right, not bad at all. And so I saw you have MLS data. That includes Arizona?
Yes. So that we have MLS data for every single state, including Texas, Arizona, any non-disclosure states, all of that. So.
Okay. And I saw a mention of the do not call list. This is maybe beyond Deal Machine, but if there's a do not call list, I'm not calling to sell something. Does the do not call list apply to people calling to buy somebody's house? Do you know?
So we typically advise people to stay away from those numbers in general, but Zach, do you know the technical limitations of that?
I always tell everyone no comment, because TCPA law technically skirts around wholesaling, but it's a gray area. So it's up to you. People do it. There's deals on them. I haven't found one person that's gotten in trouble from the FCC from doing it, but I'm not a lawyer, so I can't talk about it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I think that's all the questions I have for now. I didn't see the first 3 weeks. So.
And I think plenty of people are in that bucket too. So if you go to Zach Ginn on YouTube, that channel's got the first 2, and then Wholesaling Houses for Real YouTube channel has the 3rd week. I'll make sure to email this out to everybody who registered for this webinar too. But we'll have, if you watch those replays, they're each about an hour or so. that gets you all caught up. I tried to give a good recap of all of them here, but if you want to deep dive into each of those subjects, that's how we laid it out for those first 3 weeks. Yeah.
Now, this also includes a virtual driving for dollars.
Yes. Yep. So if even if you try us out again, you've got like it's Deal Machine, dmzac.com. That's 7-day free trial, and you can do the virtual D4D that way, or if this is the 12-month deal, jumping into that. So that also includes virtual D4D. Yep.
So is there also a monthly payment instead of the annual payment?
So if you go this one, this is actually an annual payment.
Yes.
Yeah, but there's also this way. The dmzac.com is monthly. Yeah, you could do that one month to month.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah. Awesome. Great questions. Cool. All right. Let's see. There we go. Cool. Didn't kick him out. That's good. All right. Great questions there. Feel free if you're on the Zoom line to hit hand raise like that or jump in the Q&A. I see a couple on the Q&A, Zach, here. Let's see. Javier said, going to skip trace the leads I have and cold call my leads this week and get my first deal soon. Love that mindset. There we go. You're following the playbook. Keep it up. Howard said, I was seeing the other Cyber Monday deal with Pro and Masterclass would be worse for us than Zach deal. So that's through Deal Machine there. Really the main difference is that on, going through Zach, going through this specific deal, you're going to be getting more marketing credits and you're going to be getting the route tools upgrade. So the other Cyber Monday deal we ran is more if you have the pro plan, you can add drivers. So if you want to add like bird dogs and things like that, then maybe go that direction. You know what, Howard, probably the easiest way is if you just get in touch with me directly, just matt@dealmachine.com, matt@dealmachine.com. I can get on a quick call with you and just kind of walk you through options and say, hey, here's everything we have. Which way are you going to approach driving for dollars? And then I can kind of really sculpt the solution to fit what you're going to be doing. So hope that helps here. I've got, let's see, I'll throw in the chat. It's matt@dealmachine.com. Cool. Oh, no exclamation point there. Dealmachine.com. And also I bribed everyone earlier on, taking us up on this too. matt@dealmachine.com. So if you did the homework, again, if you have 300 leads on your list like that, send me that screenshot and we'll hook you up with $10 free that way too. So Howard, hopefully it helps. Zach, do you see any other questions that we could address on the other live stream and whatnot?
Yeah, let me check I'm looking on the YouTube. Not too much. Can you use Deal Machine to send mail out to landowners?
Yep.
I believe so. I wouldn't think it would be as effective just because you don't have a picture of it, but it could still work.
For sure. Yeah. And we see people, we actually have so if you go into, like, say if you have that route tools upgrade and you're on the map here, when you hit the highlights button, let me clear this. You have like a ton of different data you can tap into here. So you go in and you create a highlight. One of the options is we kind of have a catch-all. That's weird and unusual property types, kind of a catch-all button here. And there's a ton of different types of land there. So you've got like farmland and multifamily vacant and all kinds of stuff in here. So you can go in and kind of check those highlights and say, yeah, is there any land that fits a particular criteria for me, vacant land in general right there. And then, go back and apply those highlights and you'll see those start to pop up around you too. So that highlights button can kind of help you out that way too with land.
Cool. I think that's it. A lot of good questions, but most people got to get to work.
Love it. Yeah, that's the key theme I think throughout this whole thing is getting to work, putting in the work. Again, it's not rocket science. It's more about the consistency and taking the right actions over and over and over again. So Howard, glad that was helpful. Let's see, Craig, the 590, it is for a full year. So you get 12 months of Deal Machine at that price again. And then and that's just for Cyber Monday today to get that extra bonus marketing credits there. And then Indianapolis, is Indy a good area? Yes, it is. I know we have plenty of people who have landed deals. Really, the Midwest in general is a great cash flowing market in a lot of ways. So I think the Indy market is a fantastic place to start. So
Cool.
All right, guys. Well, that's all I've got. Zach, again, always have a great time doing this, man.
Yeah.
Glad you had a great Thanksgiving, great holiday, and we'll do this one more wrap up on next Monday.
All right. See y'all there.